Waddell Brooks Sr., your host, and this is Community Forum. We're very excited this evening. We have two exemplary guests from Lake County, Pastor Arthur Gass Sr., the president of the Black Chamber of Commerce of Lake County. He's also the pastor of the Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church at 409 Wanglo in the city of Waukegan. We also have Mrs. Lydia Lewis. She's the director of programs at the Black Chamber of Commerce of Lake County. Greetings, folks.
Thank you.
We're very happy that both of you are taking time from your busy schedule to be with us to tell us about an exciting celebration that's going to be taking place in Lake County the June 19th.
That's exactly
which
right.
is only a couple of weeks away. And first of all, I'm going to ask Pastor Gass to tell us a little bit about your personal professional background and more or less your involvement, how you got started with the Black Chamber of Commerce of Lake County.
Thank you, Waddell. First of all, let me say it's glad to be here to meet with you again. And so for the next hour or so, you and I are going to have a lot of fun. But no, I, as an accountant in corporate America, for 26 years, I got downsized in year 02. And after that, decided, you know, what am I going to do with 26 years of experience as an accountant? And from that, I decided to start the Black Chamber of Commerce of Lake County, which pretty much focused on black entrepreneurship, black businesses, and other minority businesses as well, to help us to grow and to develop those businesses, because we have many in the community, but a lot of them I determined was really on this life support. They're existing, but they're not growing and developing. And to know that that could easily be changed, but you just got to have some coaching, some mentoring. And from that, you know, we've seen the growth of the chamber in membership. And so that's pretty much how the chamber was developed and how we birthed that, for the focus of trying to help to bring economic renewal back to a community that really needs it. Because I'm one that believes a lot of the problems that we have in our community are economically focused. You know, there are no jobs, there are no training, and so that's where our focus is, to lead that effort to make that a reality back into this area where I'm from.
I remember a few years ago I invited you to the North Chicago Chamber of Commerce, and you only attended one meeting because you saw some challenging experiences that weren't met as far as the black community in Lake County.
The focus that we wanted to pursue is Lake County, because Lake County, whether we realize it or not, is very diverse. I mean, we think that most African Americans is located in the Tri-City, you know, Waukegan, North Chicago, and Zion, but that's just so untrue. There are African American businesses all across this county. And the Black Chamber of Commerce of Lake County encompasses the whole county, and because of that, we have made wonderful relationships, you know, far west, all the way to Barrington. We have businesses there, Lindenhurst. So we are very, very diverse all over the county. The chamber is very diverse in our membership, and so everything that we do, you know, we want to maintain a representation of what the county is, the racial, the demographics of that. So that's what we have done, you know, through the chamber.
I have to admit, though, that the Chamber of Commerce of North Chicago had a, you know, black president, and but the board did not reflect the you know, the city of North Chicago.
Right.
And I was really concerned. I could see why you felt that something else should be developed. And,
Well,
and also for Lake County,
right.
and,
Well, see,
and not just Waukegan.
Right, and the focus is that we have got to stop, and I'm a believer, stop making excuses about our situation. And do something about that. When you look at Chamber of Commerce, they are, as I describe them, they are what a sales rep is to a car lot. A sales rep is, in a car lot, is to sell vehicles. A Chamber of Commerce sells a community, and we want to sell the positive things about our community. And unfortunately, the only thing that we hear about the African American community, for the most part, is the negativity of stuff, you know, the violence, the crime, etc. But there are wonderful people that live in our community. They are wonderful young men and women out there who are doing a lot of positive things. We got a lot of great businesses in our community that love the community and are doing some great things in our community. And those are the things that we have not accentuated as far as putting out there so people can hear and see and know about. And that's what I wanted to do. I'm to the point to where I'm tired of watching other ethnicities, rise to the occasion. And here we are, natively born here, and we still lagging behind. And I just refuse to be or take a back seat to anybody and anything. I think that we need to realize that we have the potential. We just need to stay focused on that, accentuate that, and that's what we have done through the Chamber. And because of that, we've had some wonderful successes. And, even to what we're here to talk about tonight, our Small Business and Contractors Academy, which is a growth strategy of the Chamber. And I'm just really excited about all of the accomplishments that we've had over the years.
I would like for our audience to know that you have been recognized highly by the state, the Illinois State Chamber of Commerce. You'll tell us about that.
Yeah, I currently serve as the chairman of the board of the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce. I have been there for about 4 years now.
Okay.
And we also, in 2012, received the Best Chamber of the Year award from the National Black Chamber of Commerce in Palm Beach, Florida. We went to travel there to receive that award. So because of my involvement on the state level, we, deal with a lot of the issues that pertain to African Americans from the state. And to be on the board of directors and serve as chairman, you're pretty much in the core of the issues that's being addressed on the state level. And being from Waukegan and in Lake County, then obviously we bring those successes back to Lake County. And again, that's one of the things I can attribute to all of our successes. And that's building those relationships, not just on the county level, but on the state and the national level.
Fantastic. Mrs. Lewis, I want to give you the same opportunity that I gave Reverend Gass. You are the Director of Programs for the Black Chamber of Commerce of Lake County, but tell us a little bit about your personal professional background and about your duties as a Director of Programs.
All right. My background is I have worked with the state and federal government for over 15 years. So me and my husband thought that it would be a great idea to bring that back to the community.
Okay.
And when I came here to visit one year, I had not met Pastor Gass before we had left.
Okay.
And people were saying, you need to meet Pastor Gass, you need to meet Pastor Gass, because my passion is economic development for the community.
Okay.
So I finally reached out to Pastor Gass. We met, and the first time we met, we talked 3-4 hours.
At least.
At least. About economic development for Lake County.
Now, why is there such a need for economic development here in Lake County?
Well, there's a need for sustainability for our residents of the community.
Okay.
We need jobs. The unemployment rate is not good, but they need a skill set. They need to be trained, and it's important that we train and care about the community that we live and work in.
Just about some of the programs, specific programs that you conduct at the Black Chamber of Commerce office.
Well, of course, we have the Small Business and Contractors Academy, and that is for small and medium-sized businesses for growth and development. We have the Transportation Construction Apprenticeship Readiness Program, which is an 11-week program, ages 18 and above. We have the Constructional Trades Training Program, which is 18 and above. We also have other training that we provide, special trainings, customized training that we provide at the Chamber.
Well, Pastor Gass, both of you mentioned about the Small Business and Contractors Academy. You want to tell us about that academy? Sure.
That's, again, with the birth of the Chamber, we are the traditional chamber. We have the networking events, etc.
Okay.
But what makes us unique and above the rest is that we have a training component with it, and that is with construction training. And one of the things that I wanted to do is once we looked out into the community and saw what was out there in the need.
Okay.
It's a lack of education, a lack of know-how. We have a lot of people who got great skill set, they have a great idea, but they don't have the business acumen to go with that. So what the Academy is and it was birthed in 2008. We birthed the Academy for the sole purpose of educating and teaching businesses how to grow and to develop, how to make sure that you develop your business plan, how to make sure that you watch your growth elements, to make sure that you watch your budgets, your finances, to make sure that you understand the legalities of everything, making sure that your structure is sound. One of the things that I've discovered, even with the Chamber, is that you have a lot of businesses there, but a lot of them are illegal. And I mean that they are not structured right, they're not incorporated, they don't have a business, I didn't have rather a business license. But one of the things that we try to promote for every business, make sure that your structure is sound and legitimate, because you don't want to wait until opportunity knocks on your door and you don't have what is needed in order to seize a moment. So what we try to do once once a business come to the Chamber, we want to do an assessment to try to find out where they are, what they need to do, and then try to coach them to make sure that they are, prepared as a business. Mrs. Lewis handled all of the certifications when it comes down to contractors as well as regular businesses. So the Academy focus is really training, and we started it off with a 9-week program. It is a fee-based program that all of the attendees paid like a $50 a week tuition. And during that time, we would teach them the demographics of their business, the business plan, business accounting, the buying and the selling, the overhead issues, how to handle disputes. Anything that's related to business, they would learn how to have a growth and development plan in place so that you can know and see that you are growing. And if you're not growing, and I'm talking about everything from your top line to bottom line, you got to grow, because if you don't grow, you're not making money. If you're not making money, you're not going to survive. And we don't want you, we try to teach businesses, before you step out there with that idea. I mean, everybody got an idea, everybody got a little money, they want to start a business, but you got to know that that business can survive, and you got to go in it to be sustainable. And the best way to do that is the scripture teaches us to count up your costs and make sure that you're prepared to step out there in the deep, because once you step out there and spend that money, if you don't have a plan to earn it, it's gone, your business is down, and that's it. Most people don't realize this, but 90% of businesses that start fail within the first 3 to 4 years, 5 years. So your success rate is going to be very slim unless you really plan for that. And so that's what we have done with the development of the Small Business and Contractors Academy.
You mentioned about the initially 3, 4, 5 years, most businesses fail. But tell us about some things that happen in there. What you mentioned about training. What about marketing? Maybe Ms. Lewis, you could develop on that. Why is marketing so important?
It's very important because your potential client must know who you are.
Okay.
They must know what product or service that you provide. And a lot of the entrepreneurs have no idea about the marketing piece.
They want to go into business.
They want to go in business, but they think, let me...
Customers just going to show up. Yeah.
They're going to show up, let me create a flyer or a business card, but it's so much more to it. And they need to network in the community. They need to let the community know that they're there. And
You
what
mentioned
they
you had
have to
a
offer.
9-week course, too, is that where you reflect all of these avenues.
Right.
And-
It's 9 weeks for just the small businesses
Okay.
who are not a contractor.
Right.
It's just for any type of business. If you are a contractor of trade, then you have additional classes you must attend, which is total 16 weeks.
Did you have experts come in to speak and so?
Sure.
to-
No, all of our instructors are adjunct professors.
Right.
All of them have their master's or their doctorate in the field of study.
Right.
All of them are business owners themselves.
Right.
So we have instructors that, number one, have a passion for what they do.
Okay.
They are experienced, and they bring the best professionalism to the classroom. So when the students leave, I mean, they are very well informed and educated about the area that they have been taught in. And the successes that we have had is that we've had some of our students now who have gone on to become multi-million-dollar businesses. Yes, and that came through the academy and are doing exceptionally, good right now in Lake County. Yes.
This is fantastic. Well, launching a career in construction. Tell us about how do you launch a career in construction?
That is one of the untapped areas in our community, particularly in Lake County. In this state of Illinois, as you travel up and down the interstates, if you see and notice the construction workers, you don't see many African Americans on the job.
Okay.
We don't realize that in the state of Illinois, African Americans pay about 14.9% of the motor fuel tax.
Okay.
But yet we only realize less than 1% of the contracts that's on highway construction. That's a bad return if I ever heard of one.
Right.
But at the same time, all of the jobs there, they are very good paying jobs. So what we're doing right now with our current construction training program that is funded by the Illinois Department of Transportation through the Chicago Urban League, and we are one of the 4 community-based organizations that's a part of this initiative. And our function is we take care of all of Lake and McHenry County. So we recruit individuals, young men and women of all ethnicities, as long as they are 18 years of older, have a valid Illinois driver's license, excuse me, and have a high school diploma or GED. And if they don't have a high school diploma or GED, they got to prove that they went at least to the 10th grade. Okay. And then once they met that criteria, they can come in and we give them a tape test to make sure that they at least pass at the 10th grade level. And we also give them a math assessment to see where their math skills are. And I want you to know today, this is why I'm very proud of the Academy, is because when we have students, right now, we graduated in our last program 108 students.
Wow.
Out of 108 students, I want you to hear this, out of 108 students, we only had 1 student who did not exceed an 85 percentile requirement in math in order to move on to union training.
Wow.
Because we have instructors who have taken our young people and set them down and deal with math, and we have basic mathematics, of the trades, and you got to have at least an 85 above in order to go on to the technical training in the union halls. And out of 108, only 1.
Fantastic.
And we offered to give him, tutoring, but he just didn't want to come back and do it because we wanted 100%. But hey, I'm satisfied with 99.
Right. Since you mentioned math, I have to mention just for a couple of seconds, if you don't mind. Okay. Anthony Wells, a young man has been picked up by the Chicago Bears recently. Okay. Was failing high school because math. And the high school sent him over to Daisy's Resource and Developmental Center to get his math skills up. He went back to the high school and he passed. And went on to Northern Illinois University and on graduated. Now he's with the Chicago Bears training camp. Hopefully he'll be picked up. So that's how important math is. But most people, why are they afraid of math?
Because that's just an area where we're weak in. I mean, as far as our community, math and science, and those are the courses that we need. Yeah. In order to be successful. But it's not the fact that the young people can't learn. Yeah. It's a matter of finding the right teacher that can register with them and the chemistry is right. And so we have a wonderful math teacher who have taken all of our students and they have excelled in the area, and we are very proud of the success in the graduation rate with them. And by the way, of the 108 that have completed it, the course is very strict, by the way. You're required to do an 11-week program, but you cannot be late, not one day. It's 55 days, and you cannot be late. They have to be, in the seat at 6:30 a.m. in the morning. Wow. They have to be there until 3:30. If they are late 1 minute or miss a day, they are automatically terminated from the program. Wow. Because we want them to understand, once you get into construction, a contractor wants you on the job. They want you on the job to work. You got to go out there and be on time, and so Our success rate is very good. The participation rate is great, and right now, of the 108 we have placed as of today, with this new construction season, we've placed 30% of our graduates as of today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the number is growing every day. Yeah.
Wow. Why all students are not academically inclined, but what about why are people not interested in construction?
Because construction is good pay. It's good pay, but it's hard work.
Okay.
And it takes a special person who wants to work in it. A lot of people just don't know about it.
Okay.
But construction ain't what it used to be. You know, it used to be the pick and shovel and things like that. But, you know, for those individuals that's in heavy equipment, for instance, you have a lot of women. People don't realize this, but you have a lot of women now that's in heavy equipment. Local 150 in Wilmington, they have a lot of women driving machinery because a lot of it is power steering now, is automatic equipment. A lot of your trucks, that's CDLs, you know, they're not sticks anymore, they're automatic. So they become very easy to operate, and a lot of people are getting into construction, and the money is good because most construction jobs out there right now, minimum, start you off with like $37 an hour.
Wow.
And that's good money for construction season. If you know, are fortunate to get a job and put your money up, you can do like the ant in the wintertime, you know.
Okay.
You can chill out because you don't work during the summer and earn a good wage, and that's what a lot of people are doing, and that's why a lot of our people are now you know, going into construction. And not only that, but construction is an area whereby, you know, since we got some issues with felony backgrounds,
Okay.
that's not a lot of issues in construction. There are many people out there that's in construction that have felony backgrounds, but because they making darn good money. I mean, just because one door is closed in your face don't mean everything is. So construction is a new horizon out there, and that's what people are into. And besides, it gives people a good skill set.
Ms. Lewis, what about women in construction? No, it's not all heavy equipment, but at least can have a flag. Flag bearers make good money too, right?
Yes.
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 Well, there are a lot of women in trades organizations,
Okay.
and they do more than just hold the flag.
Okay.
They operate the machines. They do everything in construction that the males can do.
That's exactly right.
And there are a lot of women trade organizations, and they are growing.
So women have come from a long way,
Yes,
right?
yes.
It
Come a
wasn't
long
until
way.
1920 before women were allowed to vote.
Right.
And that's pretty recently, you know.
And we have women in every class that we
Okay.
conduct.
Okay. Well, tell us a rough guess about the celebration that's coming up. You know, we have, we passed the deadline for initial registration, June 1st, but your celebration is what date, and then what can we expect to see?
Well, the June the 1st celebration, I mean, registration is the beginning of our new registration period for this
Okay.
contract period. So it's, you know,
Okay.
we have a total of 8 classes, right, that we're going to be doing.
8.
Okay.
And so this is just a kickoff for that. But the
recruitment.
celebration for the Small Business and Contractors Academy is based on the fact that for the last 6 years, we've been operating at 1020 West Glen, Florida, where we have our home office, and
Okay.
we only have about 1,100, 1,200 square feet of space there.
Okay.
The new facility is going to elevate us now to 5,000 square feet of space.
Oh, my goodness.
And thankful that we was able to get a capital grant to renovate the whole facility. And so not only do we have it renovated, we're going to expand our training, not just in construction trades, but in other areas of skill sets, you know, everything from appliance repair,
Okay.
anything that can, any trade or training that we can elevate. We got plumbing, electrical, you know, all of the trades that we're going to share to teach our young people a skill set that's marketable, that can make them more marketable. But what we don't realize, everybody won't be able to go to college,
Yeah.
but everybody needs to learn a skill. And what we got to realize is that anything man makes, it breaks,
Okay.
and you need somebody to repair it. So that's why we want to, you know, enhance our training and to give people an opportunity to really earn a good skill set.
So not only on the job, but home repair too.
Yes.
They could use it at home
Yes,
instead of
yes.
calling them appliance.
Yes, we have weather repair, weatherization training.
Okay.
We have, not just with the highway project that we're doing, that's pretty much the horizontal construction, which is road, bridges, et cetera. But we also have vertical with our engineering, I mean, our economic EOGP program that's coming up. That's deal with the vertical construction, with buildings, commercial. But all of that is important because, again, it's the skill set to get us together.
You mentioned about, we on the screen here, we have some information you may want to share too.
Okay. Well, yeah, we have the actual event is going to be held on June the 19th, beginning at 11 o'clock to 2. We have the actual ribbon cutting ceremony, and then we also have the evening event from 5 to 7 o'clock p.m. And that allows those individuals who are, maybe working, cannot get to the main event, to come by and share in the open house as well. The event is going to be held at the Small Business and Contractors Academy at 668 Lenox in South Waukegan. And again, we encourage the community to come and be a part of this event. It's a wonderful time for us to celebrate because it's something that's in our community that is going to be geared to helping everyone that lives and have a desire to get into construction or in other trades that we're going to be offering as well. And we also will have other training programs as far as in social media. We have classes in that area, everything from Twitter to Facebook, all of that. We've had all of the trainings and stuff.
So it seems like June 19th is going to be a special day.
It's going to be a special day, and we are excited about it, and that's something that I think that the community should come out and be proud of, because this is something that we have been working on, and it's come to a fruition.
Okay. Yeah. The Construction Apprentice Readiness Training Program, too, that's a special program, Terry. It's one of the programs that you've been discussing.
Right, that's the one that we just mentioned a minute ago about the 11-week training program.
11-week.
And again, that's funded through the Illinois Department of Transportation, but it's a great opportunity for individuals that want to get into road and highway construction.
Also, the Chicago Urban League involved too, right?
They are the prime contractor.
Oh, okay.
And we are one of the 4 community-based organizations that are subcontractor to make sure that we cover the entire District 1 of the IDOT area, which consists of 5 counties, and we have 2 of the 5. I mean 6 counties, 2 of the 6, which is Lake and McHenry County, which is our territory.
This is outstanding. I guess marketing plays a great part in your program too, though. I know besides Community Forum, what other ways are you marketing the Academy celebration?
The good thing about it, the Lord has blessed us so that the word of mouth has really been our prime way of recruiting.
Okay.
We've advertised some, but our program has been well spoken of throughout the community, and we have some wonderful recruiters. We have our recruiters who really out in the community, and we have recruiters in McHenry County who live there, recruit out of McHenry County. So what we wanted to do was to hire people from McHenry County that knew about it, who could recruit, and they have done a wonderful job of bringing those individuals from McHenry. And by the way, they drive from McHenry County here every day to class. And then once they go to Chicago, they have to drive there. So the commitment is there, and the reward is they are now, employed. So the recruitment is out there. We really, go into the community and to events and talk about it. But the good thing about it, a lot of people talk about it, and we've had great responses. Matter of fact, we have a backlog already as we now go into our recruitment of people who want to get into the class.
Now, you mentioned about recruitment. Let's go into the eligibility for the academy.
Okay, Ms. Lewis, you wanted to go?
Okay.
For the transportation construction apprenticeship readiness, they must have an Illinois valid driver's license.
Okay.
They must be at least 18, high school diploma, GED certificate showing that they completed the 10th grade.
Okay.
And once we assess their application, we will contact them to take the tape testing. And then, of course, they will be drug screened before they are accepted into the program.
And you mentioned about the residency, though. It's not just Lake County. I think Reverend Gass mentioned.
Lake and McHenry County is what the Black Chamber covers.
Okay.
So we have recruiters out of McHenry County, and of course Lake County.
And
Wow.
if there are others that lives in Cook County, they can get in one of the CBOs in Cook County. The Chicago Urban League is the prime contractor. The Austin People Action Center in the Austin neighborhood is the second one, and then United Services of Chicago is the third agency there that has access to the same program. So
What about our neighbor, Will County?
Will County? They will recruit out of Cook County. They cover all of Will County.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow, wow, this is fantastic.
So all 6 counties in District 1 are covered in this grant. So.
So this is really going to really take care of our unemployment situation then, really, because this should be any person without, that want a job,
Correct.
you know,
Should get
can
one.
really get training for a job. eh?
Well, unfortunately, in this neck of the woods, Waddell, you know, the most of your jobs that are good paying jobs,
Okay,
most of them are union jobs.
okay,
And one of the things that we don't realize is that we keep talking about economic development and job growth and jobs. But anything that come into this region in the state of Illinois, most of those good jobs going to stop at the union door. And unless you are in unions, you're not going to be a recipient of those jobs.
right,
Unfortunately, as it stands right now, we don't have that many African Americans in the unions. This program is designed to get minorities and women into those unions so that they can meet the federal mandate of 16.9% minorities and 6.9% for women. So right now they can't do that because they don't have enough minorities to fit that bill. So this program is designed to make sure that those numbers change and that we get those goals that are out there for us, because truth be told, any contract that comes to this state with a federal dollar attached to it,
okay,
federal mandate applies. So if the union can't meet that bill and supply that, then we're losing an opportunity to have our people working on these jobs, and that's what this program is designed to do, to get more African Americans and women into these skill sets.
this is fantastic. You know, when you look at minorities, failing is just not an option,
No,
right?
no, and we have to make sure that we don't fail. Why should we? I mean, we did not come from a failing heritage. Our people have always been successful. And that's why we have to realize we have it within our own potential to do better, and that's what we want to do. Stop looking elsewhere and start looking within, and make sure that you utilize what's within you to make it happen, and that's what we're doing. That's why I'm so proud about the Black Chamber, because we have done that. We have not made excuses. I have not looked at what others are doing. I'm simply saying, I know we can do this, and we can do better. And by the way, you know, I always like to use this analogy. You know, when Rosa got up off that seat and said she decided she was not going to give up her seat,
Okay.
and they had her arrested. She went to jail, yes. We know what happened with the history that with the boycott, they shut the whole bus system down.
Okay.
But the problem with that, at some point they realized, hey, we're not making any money. We got to let them back on the bus, so they let us back on the bus. But the problem is, we was not driving the bus.
Okay.
So unless you're driving the bus, you're being taken somewhere where you don't need to go. What we are simply saying is, this is a bus we're driving. We welcome everybody to ride it, but we're driving it because we know where we want to go. We know where we want to go, and we're going to go there, and we have the track record to prove it. We've gone, we made progress, and we're doing even bigger and better things. And stop making excuses. Just get out here and do it. If everybody else can do it, why can't we? And that's what we're doing.
I noticed the number of women have increased
Yes.
too, right?
Yes.
Because that by word of mouth, or the word is getting around, and
And word of mouth, and some are our former graduates, so they're helping to spread the word about the wonderful training that they received.
fantastic. Tell us about the staffing that you have at the academy. Your
Well,
numbered staffing.
Yeah, right now we have primarily a staff of 7
Okay.
in total. The main staff, you know, I serve as the director. Mrs. Lewis is our program manager. We have a program coordinator, administrative assistants, and then we have a recruiter staff. And now we also have a referral and placement staff, because our focus is not to just get people trained, but we want to get them placed.
Yeah.
And so we have people who That's their sole purpose, is work with contractors and work with other businesses to get people jobs and to help them to prepare for the interview, to prepare for the opportunity to work. We put them through everything so that when they get that opportunity for that interview, now it's up to them in order to win. But they don't take that interview unless they are prepared to do so, because it's a do or die then. So we give them all the tools that they need in order to be successful, in order to become employable.
You know, I was thinking about the location of the job. A person will have to be mobile. They have to have transportation to get to the job, because the job probably will not be just in like North Chicago, Waukegan, or Zion. The job may be in Aurora.
That is why the requirement is that you have to have a valid driver's license.
Okay.
Even though a person may not have a vehicle, the understanding is if you got a driver's license, you get a job, you get your car. But if you get a car, if you get a job and don't have a license, how are you going to get there? Because you can't drive without a license.
Right.
So the idea is we got to have a driver's license, and that is a major problem in our recruitment efforts. And it's sad to say that out of all of the people that we recruited last year program, we had a total of over 700 and something people we recruited.
Wow.
But only about 140, 150 was accepted. And most of them that did not get accepted was because of the fact they did not have a driver's license. And that's a major issue within our community about our young people not having a license.
Right.
Or I've had one and it's been suspended, and they just can't afford to pay the fine to have it reinstated.
So one of the things we have to teach our youngsters is to treat our own self good, because drinking, smoking, and drugs and so forth, this is going to close the door for you in getting
a driver's license and a high school diploma are two valuable assets that we need to hold on to as young people. Please do that, because that can close the door in so many opportunities. You don't have a high school diploma, and you don't have a GED, and you don't have a driver's license, you are pretty much doomed as for success.
Right. Are there drug tests given?
The drug test is another issue. We stress drug tests. We stress the fact that you're going to be randomly drug tested. And it's sad to say that even with all of the teaching and the promoting we do about drug testing, we've had people who actually failed the drug test.
Okay.
Because some people just don't believe fat meat's greasy. Okay. They just got to, find out the hard way that I can't beat the system. We literally had people in this 11-week program, believe it or not, got down to 2 days and got picked for a random drug test and failed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, because we showed them we are very strict about this. And if you're going to blow an opportunity to make that kind of money, something is definitely wrong. But again, we can't look at the negativity of the program.
Yep.
Those who fail, we got to look at the successes of those who've passed, who are working, who are making the money now, who are doing exceptionally well. And but out of all that, you're always going to have some bad. But that comes with the territory. Yeah.
We have to have self-confidence in ourselves, and that's a very attractive asset to have, right? Self-confidence.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, if you don't believe in yourself, who is?
Yeah. Okay.
So that's why we have to teach, and that's a part of the comportment training that we have, because for the first 3 weeks of the program, we deal with all of that, and because a lot of people have low self-esteem, a lot of them don't understand construction, the construction environment. They don't understand the harassment. They don't understand the hard work. So for the first 3 weeks, we put them through a construction boot camp, seriously, and that's why when we say you have to be in your seat at 6:30 in the morning, we don't mean 6:31, because if you're going to be successful in construction, a contractor wants you on the job on time, and so we start from day one, drilling that in to make sure that once they graduate out of technical and get that job, hey, they're going to be successful.
Yes, it's fantastic. The training also drills them into, I don't know, the availability of jobs and how regular the job is going to be available. They may work for 6 months and all 6 months, right? Depends.
Well, that's why we have good management, even in finance. we teach them a part of that is how to manage their money. See, it's one thing to make good money,
Yeah.
but you got to manage good money.
Okay.
Construction season here, we know, pretty much goes from March into November. During December, et cetera, through the winter times is down, pretty much. So the construction worker, if they earn good money, save their money, they'd be okay. I mean, these construction workers, they're not hurting in the wintertime. They're enjoying themselves. They're vacationing in Cancun and somewhere. I mean, they're enjoying. They're not hurting. They're just waiting for March the 1st to come and, come back and start it up again. So, but again, that's something that they have been taught. That's what we teach them. So when you make it, put it up, manage it well, and it'll serve you well.
You mentioned about the ants, huh?
Oh yes, that's a great.
Learn from there.
Learn from him because while we, he works during the summer.
Okay.
He puts up his food, but in the wintertime, he's down in the heart of the earth with his remote in his hand, and he's chilling out because he worked and he reserved. That's how the construction workers do.
So the ant is there for a purpose in
Yes,
teaching us.
yes.
Great. What about there's a county construction will be going along soon. I think it has it started, building a new courthouse and so on.
We had wonderful dialogue with the county, and I'm very, very proud to say that the Chairman Lawler that has been very supportive of the efforts of making sure that we share in that project.
Okay.
We've been to all of their meetings. Yes, we know there's still some issues there, but I'm proud of the progress that has been made
Yes.
in there because in Lake County we don't have quote-unquote participation goals. So I've learned an old adage a long time ago, if you can't beat them, you join them.
Yep.
So we found out that we have to build relationships with contractors. We have to show them that what you're looking for, we have. We have, met with contractors. There are contractors who have hired our individuals, our students. And so we're very confident that we're going to have wonderful participation, in those projects as it progresses along.
There are some individuals too on I think on South Side. They're very anxious, and they have approached the county in many different ways and filing suits and so forth. You have not gone that avenue. You have gone to sit around a round table and get progress.
I believe in diplomacy, but I do not rule out anything. I think there's a time and a place for all things. When diplomacy fails, then if the protests and whatever else we need to do in order to, to get our point across, then we do what we need to do. But I think we need to look at everything, put everything on the table, because until we get what we are looking for, nothing is out of our. Everything is on the table.
Pascal, you mentioned the word of mouth, and you mentioned we mentioned community forum. There may be other avenues, but I would think a large asset would be the Ministerial Alliance. You're part of that alliance. As a matter of fact, you're a past president. Is that a great way to spread the word? Because
Sure.
they have great congregations,
Sure. Well, not only that, but when we have our major events like the Dr. King program, we
Yeah.
make those programs made available to all of the people at that time. We also put out flyers to all of the churches, so they help us in that arena. So not only do the Baptist Ministers Alliance, but the ministerials population on the North Shore at will anyway. Because all of these individuals that we're helping are in all these churches. It's just not Baptist churches. I mean, we're helping everybody. It's not just, black individuals. We're helping all ethnicities. We have a very diverse staff. We have a very diverse population of students. So listen, we want to help this community because I don't like it when people think and make black people the poster child for poverty. We're not. There are a lot of poor African Americans, Hispanics, whites that live in here in Waukegan, and they need jobs just like. So when we say we are training, anybody is welcome to this program. We've had, like I said, we have a very diverse population of students who wants to get into construction. So we're open to help anybody who just want to get into it, and we encourage them to come and to apply and become a part of the program. And the good thing about it, this time they got a wonderful training center to do it, to train in this type of way. Yeah.
Okay. That's a fantastic. How long have you had this new training facility?
We started the renovation last year, and we used local contractors to do all of the work.
Okay.
Some of it was done by some of our students, but once you see it, you'll be very, very impressed. It's a premier site, And I want to thank Representative Mayfield because she was very instrumental in helping us get the capital grant to have the funds to do the facility. And so we are very proud of what we have accomplished. And I think, I know that the community is going to be proud of it because it's something that we have gone through great pain to develop and to make sure that it is going to be a lasting legacy, for this community to train those individuals that want to get into construction, again, and other trades, and all of the training that we can do at that center, we're going to do it. We're going to, make sure that we utilize our capacity.
I'm very happy that you've taken time along with Ms. Lewis to be on Community Forum to let Lake County know that besides being a pastor, you're a mediator and you're also a politician.
No, I ain't the politician part, but I want to be a force to reckon with. I just want to help us to do better right there. I mean, we got to realize that our success is in our hands. And I believe that. And I think if we can find somebody to ignite that flame, we're going to see more and more of our people saying, you know what, we can do this. And I'm seeing that happen. So we're doing that. I have a wonderful team of people. Yes, Mrs. Lewis is our program manager, but we got a wonderful staff, and they all have a passion. That's one of the things I require of my staff, that we have a passion for people. You got to have a passion for the community.
Great, great. Yeah, we have something else on the screen here we'd like to emphasize, and you may want to make a few comments.
Well, again, we'd just like to remind everybody about the grand opening that's going to be on June the 19th of the Small Business and Contractors Academy, and we encourage you all to come out and be a part of the celebration. The ribbon cutting is going to be at 11 o'clock on June the 19th, and we want you to be a part. And if just in case you are working and can't be there at 11, we have a second event open house that's going to be at 5 p.m. and the address is 668 Lenox in Waukegan. And if you want to have more information, you can call 847-596-2910 and get more information about the open house and anything that will be going on that day. Fantastic.
It was on the screen, and I know you would do a better job in emphasizing that information than I. Okay. So thank you very much.
You're quite welcome.
And I hope that our community really respond to it. I'm sure you will.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will.
Hopes,
I'm sure they will.
Mr. Lewis, you're involved in grant writing too. I know you, in order to get funds, for your project, grant writing has to be a part of it.
Yes, grant writing is a part of it.
Let me just say this, Waddell. She's very humble in her position, but truth be told, if it wasn't for her, there would not be any of this. I want the community to know that she is the grant writer. So without resources, what can you have?
Right.
So I want to thank her for that. She's a very humble person, but no, she's the person that's behind the grant funding.
Well, I gave her the opportunity, but you write the checks. So.
Oh, yes. And I want to give credit where credit belongs. I'm not the grant person. She is. So I want the community to know that she has been a wonderful asset to us. Yes.
Well, what about business planning? Because that's so important for small businesses. They just don't have a plan. I know my wife is involved with Daisy's Resource and Development Center, and we have so many people come to her. They see how successful she is, and they come to her. And matter of fact, she was on the program at one time. Matter of fact, in Birmingham, Alabama, talk about how important business planning is. Right. And we may have to show that on that tape again, So it is it's a key to success.
It's the key to success, and not only that, but it helps you to avoid avoidable mistakes. Most businesses fail because they make stupid mistakes. Had they had a business plan, it would have saved them a whole lot of misery. It's kind of like going on a trip, going on a trip, and if you haven't planned it, you can get lost. And that's what people do in business. If you don't have a strategy and a plan to follow, you're going to get lost. And unfortunately, when you get lost in business, it costs you money.
In other words, how does that go if you fail to plan?
That's it.
Then you plan to fail.
You plan to fail. You got to plan. And it's something that you got to do if you're going to be successful. I mean, it's like getting up in the morning. You have to have your day planned. One of our mottos is every day is a decision of excellence. So you got to have plans for an excellent day.
Right.
Well, what's new on the horizon for Mrs. Lydia Lewis? What do you plan, say, when we give you 5 years, when we give you 10 years, 5 years from now, what do you see?
5 years from now, I see that the chamber will grow even larger, take it to many more levels.
You know, we have many people in the audience could participate by becoming a member, right?
Sure.
Yes.
How do they become a member?
Well, it's very easy. You can stop by the office and do an application at 1020 West Glen, Florida. You can go online at our website at www.bccoflakecounty.com and do an application. We have individual memberships. We have businesses membership. Everything from businesses to corporations to municipalities that's a member of the chamber. We would love to have more members. Right now, we are a little over 250 plus members.
Okay.
And we are growing, and we want to continue to grow.
I noticed when you first started with speaking of marketing, you had a luncheon for everyone, complimentary luncheon for everyone to come. And so, besides being the mediator and know how to deal with people, you're an accountant, but dealing with people had to have been part of your training.
Yeah, that's a part of it, but it's, you know, accounting is about money, and
Okay.
Managing money well is one of the things that the Lord has blessed me to do.
Okay.
Because if you're going to, you know, deal with grants and deal with people, you know, you need to manage that well.
Right.
And again, that's a part of our structure. It's to show that when the Lord bless you with resources, if you manage it well, it can take you a long ways. You know, we don't waste. You know, we're very slim at the top. I mean, I don't have a lot of overhead.
Okay.
Again, my staff, they work hard. You know, even though they may get paid 40 hours, but they do 40-hour plus work because
Okay.
I'm very demanding.
Right.
I don't like excuses. If we say we're going to get things done, we get it done. And because that's just the way I'm wired. I mean, I'm a very hardworking person. I love God, I love the church, and I love my people. But I know that we can just do better than what we are doing. It's for our children we need to do better.
It's great that the national organization has recognized the work that you're doing.
Sure.
You mentioned that you received the national award in Miami and
In Palm Beach,
Palm Beach, Palm Beach, Florida.
Yes, sir.
So evidently, they realize the work that you're doing, and hopefully they will be represented too. And here on the June the 19th.
Oh, sure. They will be represented, and also I like to say that my wife Ann, you know, she's not with us tonight, but the chamber would not be because if it was not for her too. She had to
Okay.
agree. She helped me to birth this in our dining room table, and
Okay.
we was up at 3 o'clock in the morning licking stamps and putting them out, trying to get the mailing out. So we've had our humble beginning, and so I want to make sure that people recognize it's not about me. I have a wonderful wife who has helped me and my team. Again, the Lord has blessed us to be a great team, and we have a great rapport. And again, you got to have a passion for what we do, and that's to help this community.
This is great that you recognize your wife, and of course, most wives like stay in the background and so forth. But even though they may be in the background, you have to recognize them.
Oh, yeah,
because,
yeah. Well, she was in the background for a while, and then she came to work at the chamber for a while because my position is when I didn't have nothing, she was with me.
Okay.
And when the Lord blessed us with something, I'm not going to kick it to the curb. So she came and worked with me until the grandkids came, and then she decided, well, you can have it. I'm going home and stay with the grandkids, and that's what she is now. So it's great, but again, it's the team, and I want to make it's not me. I mean, I'm just one person. Yeah, you have a visionary, but a visionary ain't nothing without great followers and great support staff. So without the team, none of this would be. And again, I always say, no matter what we have, if you didn't have the resources. Okay. And it takes the person who's an expertise in the grant writing and with the certifications to help these contractors, and that's what Ms. Lewis is a guru at. So that's been our bread and butter here.
Tell us about we mentioned about money, Illinois Department of Transportation. You mentioned that's from the capital portion of the state, the capital development that you got approved by.
Well, the actual grant that we have is funded by the Illinois Department of Transportation, which is that construction grant, but the actual grant that we have, which is a capital grant, is there for buildings and to build facilities.
Right.
That's the capital grant that we got to renovate the facility. The facility was actually given to us for back taxes, which was, I think, at the time about $8,000 or $9,000.
Okay.
So outside of that, the facility now is fully paid for. It is fully ours, and one of the visions that we have for the Black Chamber in the future is that the family housing services of Lake County that we have, that's going to be our next venture to get a home for that, because we deal in homes and buying and helping to make affordable housing as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, the outstanding guest that we've had, Pastor Arthur Gass Sr. He's the president of the Black Chamber of Commerce of Lake County. And of course, he's the pastor of the Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church, which is located at 409 Wanglow, in just off of Jackson on Belvedere Street in Waukegan. And the director of programs for the Black Chamber of Commerce is Mrs. Lydia Lewis. And the outstanding celebration is coming up is June 19th, and the time
It's 11 o'clock.
11 until
2 o'clock.
11 until 2.
And then the afternoon session is started at 5 to 7.
Okay, at 668
Lennox
Street in Waukegan.
Okay.
We want to thank you very much for taking time for your business schedule to listen to this program. My name is Dr. Waddell Brooks, and this has been Community Forum.